We're talking about transformations of quadratic functions in standard form, and we want to graph quadratic functions and determine whether the graph has a maximum value or a minimum value based on the a value. So we should be able to tell right now that the a value is positive, and our graph should open up like this. So these arrows represent that the graph is going to continue in this direction and never stop. So that means that there's no point where we're ever going to reach the maximum. However, at the bottom here, there's the lowest point. And so for this graph, we are going to have a minimum. And the minimum is always going to be on the line of symmetry. So here we have that line of symmetry of x equals 1 that we calculated before. So we're going to use this value, x equals 1, the line of symmetry, and that's going to help us calculate what our vertex should be. So the vertex is located on the line of symmetry. The x value is the same for the vertex and the line of symmetry. So that's the equation that we used, negative b over 2a, and we calculated that line of symmetry. So we are going to use the value there where we said x is equal to 1. So we're going to substitute that in. So we have the function, and we're going to evaluate it when x is equal to 1. So all I did was write down the function there, and we're going to substitute in, we're going to evaluate the function when it's equal to 1. Oh, forgot my squared term here. So this is going to be equal to 1 squared is 1 times 2. That's equal to 2. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And minus 2. So 2 minus 4 minus 2, that is equal to negative 4. So the function evaluated at 1 is equal to negative 4. In other words, the vertex is 1 comma negative 4. And that is a minimum value because it's down there at the bottom. And so we have it graphed already. The domain for this function. The domain for this function is all real numbers. There's no limit on what our value can be for the x. So the domain, we can say, is the domain is going to go from negative infinity to positive infinity. That's what, there's an arrow up here, and there's an arrow up here. And in the x direction, the domain value, that's our x values, all x values. And all x values, we can go all the way to negative infinity, and we can all go all the way to positive infinity. For the range, because we have a minimum down here, the lowest value, we have a bottom. So the bottom is our y value, is all y values. So the lowest y value you can have is negative 4, and then it's going to go up all the way to infinity. But the negative 4 is included because we can have a point that goes down there to negative 4, and then it goes up to infinity. And then when is the graph increasing or decreasing? So when we trace the graph with our pen, as we move left to right, the graph is decreasing, 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 all the way until the x gets to 1. So from negative infinity all the way until 1, this graph is decreasing. So we're going to start at not including negative infinity, but we're going to start at negative infinity all the way to 1, and 1 is not included either because the slope at 1 is 0. Then we're going to start for increasing. The graph is going to start increasing in and go all the way to positive infinity in the x direction. It's going to start at 1 and go all the way to infinity.